friends, welcome back. In the first video on Tier 1 metrics, we reviewed a Tier 1 metrics chart, which I made available for free download. Hopefully you were able to download that, follow along with the video, and learn how to use run charts to track your team's Tier 1 performance. And in the second video, I added an action log so that you could track your team's CI actions over time. In this last video, I'm showing you how to link a failure modes tracker. Now, if you missed my blog post from the other day on failure modes and why they're important to track, please check that out, johnthackerjr.com on the home page. But briefly, failure modes are ways that something can fail. Now, failure modes can be defined down too small, which makes it difficult to use to improve your systems and processes. Or failure modes can be defined too broadly, and you end up with the same result. Now, I'll give you an example. Let's pretend that you engineered a car and you're trying to make the car better. And so you're tracking failures with the cars you produce. If you track every failure as mechanical failure, you don't know where to start. You just know that your car broke at some point and you have a certain number of breakdowns. But if you were to track it as tiny as this bolt failed or that washer failed, you might end up with the same problem. Because your definitions are so precise, you don't know exactly where to start. So instead, a failure mode should be a group that's large enough to point your energy in the right direction for continuous improvement. In the example of the car, you might consider brake failure as a failure mode, even though it could be the brake rotors, the brake pads, the brake fluid or hoses, or any other part of the brake system that fails. If at the end of the month you have 21 failures and 18 of them fall under the brake failure mode, then you know you need to look at your braking system as a point of development for your product. In the same way, tracking failure modes over time will allow you to see where you should point your energy as you pursue continuous improvement with your team to make your products and processes and work environment better. So let's dive in. This chart should look familiar to you. This is the chart that we've been using all along. And we'll begin by entering our month and year. We'll also add our site name, Acme Corp. Site 101. When you fill out the header, as usual, it populates the header throughout the rest of the chart. Now we've already reviewed the run chart and the action log. Below, we have the failure modes. Your failure modes are listed in the left column. Failure mode 1, failure mode 2, etc., etc. The numbers at the top of the screen represent the days of the month. These numbers are repeated at the bottom to make filling out the chart as easy as possible. And for each day, when you have a failure, you will track the number of failures you had by failure mode. Again, this links to the other data in the chart. So if we look at our run chart, we had no failures on the first, none on the second, none on the fourth, but we had a failure on the third. So in our failure modes tracking, we wouldn't have anything in the first and the second. And on the third, we might have one failure mode of trailer not ready. But we might have had another failure mode as well, missing paperwork. These are the two failure modes that we uncovered during our investigation when we filled out the action log. Now this chart is designed so that it automatically tabulates the totals of each failure mode type in the right-hand column. And it tabulates the total failure mode number by day at the very bottom. And in the right-hand corner is the total failure modes for the entire measurement period. For example, you might have trailer not ready on the 3rd, And you might have had 2 not ready on the 7th, 1 not ready on the 10th, 1 not ready on the 21st, 3 not ready on the 25th. The chart tracks for you automatically that you have had 8 trailer not ready occurrences for the month. As for your missing paperwork, perhaps you also missed paperwork on the 6th, missed it twice on the 10th, missed it once on the 16th, and once on the 21st. The chart tabulates that you've had 7 missing paperwork failure mode occurrences in the month. And down at the bottom, you can see your total failure mode occurrences by day of the month. This can be handy if you notice that certain days of the week, such as Monday or Friday, have a significant number of failure modes. This will allow you to assess whether or not your workload is evenly distributed throughout the week, and also whether there is something you can do about it. You may also have multiple shifts or lack of resources available during weekend days, etc., etc. And of course, in the lower right, you will have your total failure modes of all types for the month. Once you have this information, you can take this chart and create a Pareto analysis that allows you to focus your efforts on the failure mode you're having the most trouble with. And we'll probably look at that in a future video. For now, as usual, this Excel spreadsheet is linked in the description of the video below. Please feel free to download it and use it. And if you have any questions, reach out. I'll be happy to work with you on your continuous improvement initiatives. Thanks for tuning in. Bye now.